Why do men cheat? Sharp Game coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com. Offer of boss life secrets and love can't wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So I did a video last year. I was talking about why women cheat, and someone brought to my attention, he said, man, you never, it was a woman that said, hey, you never really talked about why men cheat. And I said, you know what? You're right. I never really talked about it. There's a reason why I never talked about it. So that's what this video is for. This video is for that person that brought this to my attention. I never talked about why men cheat. I talk about a lot about why women do what they do. For obvious reasons. And then plus, there's obvious reasons why I never talk about why men cheat too. And a lot of it has to do with women. So share this video, subscribe if this is your first time being here, and share this video if anyone that you think will see it as a value. So you have to understand, a lot of dudes, they not really with the woman that they really wanted to be with. A lot of dudes kind of settled, man. They settled with the girl because she was around the longest, or maybe he got her pregnant. Just the right thing to do at the time. It's all kinds of reasons. You have to understand, a lot of dudes, we don't really have the privilege and the luxury to, some of us, but most of us, we don't have the privilege and the luxury to do what we want. A lot of guys just do what they got to do. See, women have the privilege. They love doing what they want. They strive for women's rights and all that stuff. So, in a woman's mind, this is not what I want. This is what I want. And she'll go back and forth like that for years. But us guys, we don't really have that luxury, those privileges to do what we want all the time. We do what we got to do. We do the right thing. We do what benefits the family. And sometimes that women play a part in that. So a guy will get with a woman, knowing that she ain't really his first choice. He'll get married to her, live with her, and have kids in the whole shebang. Might even have 2-3 kids, right? But she still ain't the one. He's settled. She ain't the one that really he look at and he's like, damn, man, she's bad as a motherfucker. She ain't really that girl. But she could be a good girl though. But she ain't that girl that got all that sex appeal. Nah, that's not her. But she's good for the kids. She's good for the nest. So he has to find a girl. He might not necessarily be looking, but he usually runs into that girl that does have that sex appeal. And if the timing is right, opportunity is right, situation is right, environment is right, you might go and hit that. And this happens a lot. Now, See, you can't really talk to women. You can't really have conversations with women about this type of stuff. They get all in their feelings. And see, and the reason, you know why they get into their feelings most of the time? Because every woman thinks they got the best cooch on planet Earth. It's the truth. Every woman thinks that they're the hottest thing or the baddest thing in the sack. Every woman thinks they got that fire. It's the truth, man. I'm not making this up. Every woman thinks that. Not only that, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard a woman say, I'm a bad girl, I'm a bad woman, I'm no good? Women don't talk like that. So you know what the answer is. No. So not only does she think she's not a bad woman, she thinks she's a good catch. So not only does she think that, she thinks she's smoking in the sack. She thinks she got that fire. See, women overvalue themselves all the time. So this is another reason why a lot of guys instead of going through all that commotion, and that's what it's going to be most of the time. Because a lot of these women you can't talk to. So instead of going through all that commotion, a dude will just find another woman and get his needs covered. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you how it really goes down out here. You know, she wasn't his first choice. That's probably the best he could do at the time, based on the situation he was in, and he probably wasn't in the best situation, or he probably was in a bad situation. Who knows? But she was around at the right time, right place. She just stuck around for the long haul versus the other women that he had around. Maybe she stuck out. Just because she stick out, that doesn't mean she has sex appeal. That doesn't mean he gets turned on. That doesn't mean he get those butterflies in the stomach. That doesn't mean any of that. Because there's a lot of women out here, they have no sex appeal. Zero. But at the same time, dudes say, hey, you know when? Take care of my kids, man. You know, she's a good woman. She take care of the family. She put food on the table. She work a little job. I make most of the money. I bring home the bacon. This is the family. I'm gonna stick with her, man. You know. But she ain't the first. You know. And what usually happens a lot of times, especially today, didn't happen much back then when I was growing up, but today he usually ends up getting a divorce from that woman. Because once them kids kids move out and everything, and at that point, a lot of guys be like, man, there's no reason for me to be with her no more. The kids done gone. It's just me and her in the house now. Well, we might as well call it quits. And a lot of times, a lot of women, they pick up on this. Because by the time the kids is grown, or sometimes even before the kids is grown, they're not having sex no more. They're not having sex no more. Because by this time, not all the time, but usually she don't look the same. She got that weight on her, and she didn't have no sex appeal anyway. He wasn't really turned on by her anyway. She was alright, She might be a 6 or 7, but she wasn't really, like I said, she won first. So he don't really there's no purpose in staying together after 20 years, 15, 20, 25 years. There's no purpose. The kids gone, everybody gone. And a lot of women, they pick up on it. They know the deal. They're not having sex no more. So it's usually a mutual thing when they get a divorce. And by this time, they're in their 40s or 50s. So now, this same dude, he's gonna get married again. If he's not getting married again, he's at least gonna be around the girl that he's always wanted to be with. The second round. Most of the time, these guys usually get married again. But the second wife, she's everything he always wanted. Everything he's always wanted, man. He might even have a child with her, because she usually end up being younger. You know, because he's in his 40s or 50s. He usually end up having a child with her. She's everything he always wanted. You know? And that's usually how it go, man. You know? And like I said, it's kind of hard to have conversations with women like this, because every woman thinks she's a badass. Every woman thinks she's like the best thing smoking. So a lot of guys would be like, hey man, sometimes it's just cheaper to keep her. A lot of guys would be, they grab this pen and be like, okay man, let's see how much money I make, how much money I'm gonna have to pay for child support, and how long it's gonna be alimony payment. They'd be like, man, it's cheaper to keep her, man. I'll just wait until the kids is over 18 or living their life in college or wherever, military, wherever they choose to do, or move out or whatever. I just wait until they gone and then I'm gone. That's how it usually go, man. It's a means to an end on both sides, men and women. It's just a means to an end. Now that might sound cold to some people, but there's a means to an end when it comes to everybody. You might not see it that way. That's how it really is. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has to play their part. But that's usually how it goes. This is why a lot of guys have another girl on the side. It ain't just because of the sex either. That's another myth out here. And people think that, hey, you love her? A lot of women ask you that question. You love her? I'm like, what? No. It's about just, a lot of times it's having peace of mind. A lot of times it's just connecting with somebody that you're compatible with. That's what it usually be most of the time. A lot of times it's just being able to talk to somebody. Having like a dual conversation with somebody. That's what it be. A lot of time it's more of a chemistry than anything. The sex is just icing on the cake. So that's why a lot of women will say, you love her? They didn't say, and you notice, they didn't say if the sex was good. The first question they ask, do you love her? So if I love her, then, okay, then what? You can be with her then. Because the guy going to say no. And if he said no, then she'll be like, oh, okay, we can stay together then. As long as you don't love her. But if the guy says, hey, I do love her. Okay, you can be with her then. And then she'll bust out and cry, more than likely. That's what we'll use. I've seen this in action. That's why I'm laughing. Yeah, so At the end of the day, man, guys having women on the side, quote unquote, cheating. It's not really what you think it is. It's not just sex. You can get sex from damn near from any woman. You can get sex from anywhere. You can, it's much bigger than that. It's more of a psychological thing, more than anything. But women don't want to hear that. You know why? Like I said, because she thinks she's the best thing smoking in the sack. She thinks that whatever she got is supposed to satisfy him regardless of how lazy she might be in the sack. But a lot of women, they overvalue themselves all the time, bro. If you ask a woman, I said on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think you look? They'll say, oh, I'm a 9 or a 10. I'm like, what? Damn, you look better than Beyonce or Rihanna. And all these other entertainers. If that's the case, and she might be 5'4", weigh 160 pounds, and hair all over the place, and say she's a 9. So it's just how it's all on. Most stuff women say is all predicated upon emotions. It ain't really got nothing to do. It's not about being practical at all. It's not about using having critical thinking skills or common sense. It's not about none of that shit. It's all based on how she feels at the end of the day. But you, being a practical thinking man, you can't afford to do that. We, just like I said early in the video, us guys, we don't have the luxury of doing what we want all the time. We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do what makes sense. We gotta do what's practical. So hey, there you have it. That's how it usually goes down out here, man. Like, share the video. And if you listen to me on iTunes, leave me a review. Tell me what you think. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.